Welcome back, children. For the next part of the video, let us see the what is waiting for us in the next part of the story. Whether our lawyer gets Oliver Lutkins, whether the hack driver Bill really helps him, or what happens in the towards the end. Let us see. We have seen that the lawyer is looking for Oliver Lutkins and the hack driver is helping him. And now it is a lunchtime, they are feeling hungry. So the suggestion came from Bill that his wife would pack the lunch and for that she would charge a nominal payment. And but it would be healthier for our lawyer that he could avoid the greasy, oily food of the restaurant. I know that Bill's helpfulness to the young fellow from the city was not entirely a matter of brotherly love. I understood that it was not only a brotherly love for a young man like me from the city who is, he might think to be fool. It's not like that, I understand, because I was paying him for his time. In the end, I paid him for 6 hours, including the lunch hour. I paid him 6 hours at the end, including the lunch hour, which was he could he could not pay also because that lunch hour he did not move. The hack driver did not move with him, but still he paid. So 6 hours, and what was then a very high price. But he was no more dishonest than I. I charged the whole thing to the farm, but he was not a dishonest man. He gave me the service and I paid. I paid a false bill in the I rather I paid not false bill. I paid the bill to the office and I would get back the price also. But it would have been worth paying him myself to have his presence. His cheerful country wisdom was very refreshing to a country boy like myself who was sick of the city. As we sat on the hilltop looking over the pastures and creek which slipped among the trees, he talked of New Million and painted a picture in words of all the people in it. Beautiful scene. Finally, they sat on a hilltop, and from there, the village could be seen, the green pastures could be seen, the rivers flowing, creeks flowing could be seen, and he went on telling and describing the different villages to the man, to the lawyer. He noticed everything, but no matter how much he might laugh at people, he also understood and forgave their foolishness. He described the minister's wife who sang the loudest in church when she was most in debt. Different incidents now he is describing. He commented on the boys who came back from college in fancy clothes. He told about the lawyer whose wife could never succeed in getting him to put on both a collar and a tie on the same day. Very funny incidents of the villages he was sharing with him. He made them all alive, means all the characters as if is unknown to me, as if I have met them, I know them. The way he painted the characters with words, that it they became very close to my heart. On that day, I came to know New Milan better than I did the city and to love it better. Only on one day, I came to know New Milan and all the members, the villagers, so nicely that I don't know my city even after staying for such a long year. I do not know the city so much as I know the New Milan within one day. Bill did not know about colleges and cities, but he had traveled around a lot of the country and had had a lot of jobs. From his adventures, he had brought back a philosophy of simplicity and laughter. He strengthened me. He traveled many places, he did many jobs, and that had given him, taught him the philosophy of simplicity. We left that peaceful, means every line we can see that the lawyer was very pleased with the simplicity and the honesty of the hack driver of Bill. We left that peaceful scene of meadows and woods and resumed our search for Oliver Lutkins. Second half of the day started again. We could not find him. At last, Bill cornered a friend of Lutkins and made him admit what he guessed. Oliver's gone out to his mother's farm 3 miles north. He is not here in this village. He has gone to his mother's farm, which is 3 miles away from here. We drove out there laying plans. Now we planned that we must go there also. I know Oliver's mother. She's a terror. Bill sighed. I took her trunk out there for her once and she almost took my skin off because I did not treat it like a box of eggs. Then Bill was sharing one incident about with Oliver's mother, how dangerous she was. That once she had to, because he was a hack driver, and he carting and hacking was his work, so he had to shift one trunk, that is a wooden box, sorry, iron box, as you know. But mother was very angry. Oliver's mother was very angry on Bill because Bill did not treat the box as if it is filled with eggs, that is to be handled so carefully, filled with fragile things. He did not carry it properly like that and treated it carelessly. So the way she scolded or behaved rudely on him, that almost she took off his skin. Such dangerous that lady is. And now they were proceeding towards her house. She is about 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick and quick as a cat, and she sure can talk. I'll bet Oliver heard that somebody is chasing him and he has gone on there to hide behind his mother's skirts. Mother is tall and stout, so definitely Oliver got the information that somebody is looking for him. So he had gone there and is hiding behind his mother. Well, we will try her, but you'd better let me do it, boy. You may be great at literature and law, but you haven't had real training in swearing. That you cannot handle the lady. You might be very literate, far much more than me, but you cannot handle that lady. We drove into a poor farmyard. We were faced by an enormous and cheerful old woman. My guide bravely went up, that is a hack driver, guy bravely went up to her and said, Remember me? I am Bill Magnuson, the carter and hackman. I want to find your son, Oliver. I don't know anything about Oliver and I don't want to, she shouted. That I don't know who is Oliver and I don't want to know that also. Now look here, we have had just about enough nonsense. This young man represents the court in the city and we have a legal right to search all properties for this Oliver Lutkins. He had a genuine letter, so we have all the right to check whether Oliver is there or not. Bill made me sound very important, and the woman was impressed. She retired into the kitchen and we followed. She seized an iron from the old fashioned stove and marched on us, shouting, You search all you want to, if you don't mind getting burned first. She shouted and laughed at our frightened retreat. That you go and do whatever you like. Let's get out of here. She will murder us all, Bill whispered. Outside, he said, Did you see her smile? She was laughing at us. I agreed that it was pretty disrespectful treatment. We did, however, search the house. Since it was only 1 story high, Bill went round it, peering in at all the windows. He was peeping into all the windows and trying to find out whether Oliver was there or not. We examined the barn and stable. We were reasonably certain that Lutkins was not there. It was nearly time for me to catch the afternoon train, and Bill drove me to the station. Finally, I understood that no, he is not here, and time is over. Now I have to come back and have to catch the train. So I had to end up my adventure or my journey here, this journey of finding out Oliver Lutkins. I had to end up there and I had to come back to catch the train. On the way to the city, I worried very little over my failure to find Lutkins. I was too busy thinking about Bill Magnuson. I did not care that I failed, but I was in a trance of the thought of how beautiful, how nice this man was, Bill Magnuson. Really, I considered returning to New Million to practice law. Really, I started thinking that I will come here only and will start practicing law among the beautiful, simple, honest villagers. If I found Bill so deep and richly human, might I not grow to love Fritz and Gustav and 100 other slow-spoken, simple was neighbors? If one man is like this, definitely the other man's, whoever was a Fritz, Gustav, Gray, those who are there, definitely they will be fine and no less finer than not less finer than this bill. They would be also equally good like Bill. So I will feel very comfortable to start my business here in this New Million. I pictured an honest and happy life beyond the strict limits of universities and law firms. I was excited. I had found a treasure. I had discovered a new way of life. But if I did not think much about Lutkins, the office did. Though I did not think, but the office did not spare me. They thought about Lutkins. I found them all upset. They were very disappointed with me when I came and told them that I did not get him. Next morning, the case was coming up in the court and they had to have Lutkins. I was a shameful, useless fool. That morning, my promising legal career almost came to an end before it had begun. Before it had begun, almost it came to an end, and my seniors were very disappointed with me, and I was sacked almost from my job. The chief almost murdered me. He hinted that I might do well at digging ditches. I was ordered back to New Million, and with me went a man who had worked with Lutkins. Now they told that I would again have to go for Oliver Lutkins, but this time somebody would accompany me who knows this man. I was rather sorry because it would prevent my loafing all over again with Bill. I was very happy and delighted to get back to New Milan again, and I would get another chance to meet Bill, but I was disappointed that another man would be with me, and that would be a disturbance. When the train arrived at New Million, Bill was on the station platform as usual, like the previous day, near his cart. Strangely enough, that old tigress, Lutkin's mother, was there talking and laughing with Bill, not quarreling at all. The attitude she showed yesterday was just opposite. Today she was very nicely laughing and talking to Bill, but yesterday she did not behave like that. It was very surprising to him. From the train steps, I pointed Bill out to my companion and said, "There's a fine fellow, a real man. I spent the day with him." From the train only, I pointed him out that, see, that is the man who is a very good man. Yesterday, I spent the entire day with him, and let us go and meet him today also. He helped you hunt for Oliver Lutkins? Yes, he helped me a lot. He must have. He is Lutkins himself. What really hurt me was that when I served the summons, Lutkins and his mother laughed at me as though I were a bright boy of 7. With loving kindness, they begged me to go with them to a neighbor's house for a cup of coffee. Now, their loving kindness, they asked me that to go. They means Oliver Lutkins and his mother. That is who you can call as Bill also, and his mother. They requested the lawyer to go and have a cup of coffee with in the neighbor's house. Why? Because I told them about you and they are anxious to look at you, said Lutkins joyfully. They're about the only folks in the town that missed seeing you yesterday. because yesterday everybody in the town, means in this village, saw how I fooled you, how you were fooled, and they only missed. So they were eagerly waiting to see how much big fool you are. So I request you to go and have a cup of coffee in their house so that they can see you. So you can understand that how intelligent this man is. By this time, maybe probably few of you have understood that this bill was Oliver Lutkins, but definitely it's a very interesting thing for those whom to whom it has revealed at the last. They have enjoyed a lot. Even I did not understand. I could not guess that that was actually Oliver Lutkins. I enjoyed the story very much. Hope you will also enjoy that how simple villagers are. They are not simple. He thought that villagers are very simple. Bill is a most refined person in the village, and see how it turned to be opposite to the simple lawyer. How he was fooled. So let us enjoy. You also enjoy the story and finish the question answers that are given at the back of the chapter. Thank you, children.